You have a very interesting experience with, just kind of making the decision of finding out about the COVID vaccine and working through whether or not that was the right choice for you. So had a little bit of skepticism at first and a little hesitancy about that. Tell me about that.
I'll be honest, initially when I heard about the COVID vaccine, I was quite skeptical. I didn't know what to think. I felt unsure. I felt scared. I felt like the vaccine came out way too soon. And most of the people around my circle, share the same belief as myself in the sense of, wow, the quick turnaround. I also felt some family pressure. I'm originally from Nigeria in West Africa, and we do have our beliefs, and we're not one to jump forward when things just come out. We have to take a moment to pause and see what's out there, look at the research. But then I was kind of conflicted being a nurse, knowing, we want to practice based on the evidence. And then at the same time, I'm thinking about, can I take it? But then I also look at myself as an African American, as an African, as a Black woman, and also looking at my past medical history. I'm at high risk, susceptible to getting COVID. And that scared me. But as a leader, I had to make sure I was making the right decision. And that's being open and talking to anyone. When I say anyone, family, my peers, my team, my supervisor, and also, putting myself out there to get more information.
How did you take those different influences and apply them into the evidence that you were seeing about the vaccine?
When the vaccine came out in December, there was a lot of information out there. But I can speak more highly of my organization. We were prepared. We were organized. We made sure we had the right information out there. But seeing other people who looked like me sharing their story made a difference. And having the peer support, me talking to my colleagues and asking them. I wanted to share my story to see if I made sense, if I made sense. Am I truly scared? Am I just being chicken, or are my thoughts valid? That was rough. But I felt supported.
We're in the same boat as where we have aging parents and we have school-aged kids too. So talk to me a little bit about your kiddos. How did they influence you? Where were they at on the spectrum of everything with COVID?
My daughter was scared, but that's her personality. But what's funny and what's embarrassing? She knew more than I did. Every day I came home, she would say, "So Mama, the vaccines are out. So are you getting the vaccine? Are you getting the vaccine?" And I'm like, "Oh yes, we'll talk about that later." But she kept insisting. So to me, I knew it mattered to her. It mattered to her that I'm safe.
Was there one particular person who really influenced your decision and maybe got you to that point where you were like, okay, yes, I'm sold on the evidence and I am ready to get my vaccine? Was there a person for you in the organization?
Absolutely. Shawn Hendricks. She's amazing. She is inspirational. It was funny because two incidents that happened. Came home one day from work, my husband said, "Oh my God, one of your nurses, was the first person to get vaccinated. Don't you know her?" And I looked at him and said, "I don't know everyone that works in the organization. I don't even know what you're talking about." But, during our safety huddles, and Shawn was highlighted, and I saw that interview, and having conversations with her and hearing her story, which was different from mine, but very similar because the foundation is family. You want to be safe for your family, and you have family members that have been exposed to the virus. You want to be a strong leader for your staff and your team. But what also stood out to me with Sean was one day I was walking down with her to the cafeteria, and I saw all these people saying, "Hey, Sean, saw you on TV. I got my vaccine scheduled. Hey, Sean, I have mine done tomorrow. Oh, Sean, I got mine last week." Her story resonated with not just me, but a lot of people from different communities of life, different social status, different roles. And I want to be like that. And after that incident, I said, okay, what are you waiting for, Barb? You need to go get the vaccine.
It's time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's time. So you've gotten your first vaccine now?
So I got my first vaccine, and I have to say that day, I felt like I was going to some big event, right? I had myself all prepped up. I had on my Tylenol just in case at the end of the day. Came to work and was telling everyone, get my vaccine today, because I wanted to be part of that IT club. I felt like I was an outsider, being there for my staff and putting those resources to them and being open and transparent. And all of them were taking their vaccines. And I was like, I'm sharing this information, but I need to be a role model and lead by example. Of course, after I made my conscious decision, as much as I was kind of smiling, deep down, I was afraid. But I don't know what I was afraid of, but I was scared. I said, what if I'm the person who gets the reaction? What if I'm the one who, something bad happens to? But I kept going. And the lady who gave me my shot, she was good. And when she gave it to me, I was like, are you done? And she said, yeah, I'm done. And it went very well. I have shared my story, but one thing I learned, and I was appreciative of the other people who were my soundboard, was not feeling pressured. There's nothing worse than someone telling you have to do something. And for me, I can speak from my experience, was going to the individuals I felt safe with, I felt I had a relationship with. And I have that relationship with my team. So when we do our forums, through our town halls or safety huddles or staff meetings, we have more of a conversation, and I'll ask the question, what do you have, or what questions do you have about the vaccine? And some of them will say, you know what, no, I don't think I'm ready for it. Or, the same fears I had, it's the turnaround was so quickly. I listen. I think that's the most important thing.
It's a really good story. And I'm so glad you have kind of these solid, grounded people in both areas of your life that you can soundboard. And there's nothing better than having one of your kids being your biggest cheerleader too. I mean, that'll perk up a bad day when you walk through the door and you've got a great cheerleader like that. So I really appreciate you taking time and telling us your story and talking through this with us.